Okay, this is the video that we put together for for Algebra 300, and it's going over solving multi-step equations. We're looking at two things. When you have variables, multiple variables on the same side, or variables on different sides of the equation. So let's go over a couple pointers to keep in line when doing this. First off, the very first thing you want to make sure you know is the main goal is to always get the variable by itself. No matter what type of algebra problem it is, if you're solving, get the variable by itself. A couple ways to do that. Number one, use distributive property if necessary first. Again, you want to get rid of parentheses. Okay, so we're going to get rid of parentheses. That's the first thing you want to do. Step two, combine like terms. Anything that's common, simplify it, put them together. Step three, add or subtract any constants to the opposite side. So get any numbers out of the way and really try to get the variable term by itself. And then the last thing, multiply or divide to get that by itself. So come back to these 4 steps if you get stuck in a problem. So let's take a look at a couple examples. Example number 1. Notice we have the equal sign right here, and we have like terms on the same side of the equation. So this is really 9 minus 2x, okay, 9x minus 2x. So really we're looking at 9 minus 2, which is 7x. So notice how I combine the like terms, okay. Then the next thing is addition and subtraction. Move the 4 over to the other side. We're left with 7x is equal to 28. Last step, 7 times x, undo by division, undo multiplication by division, both sides, and x is equal to 4, okay. So that's how we want to do this. Let's take a look at number 2. Now notice here we have parentheses, so I want to take care of this part first. So first thing I'm going to do is distribute the 3 times y, and then 3 times 4. Okay? Then like the first problem, we see like terms. I want to add the 2 y's together and get 5y. Next step, move the 12 over to the other side by subtraction, undo addition. Okay, and again, notice the whole sign here. I got, there's my equal signs. So you got 5y on one side is equal to 15 over here. Last step, divide by 5, both sides, and we simply get y is equal to 3. Okay. Looking at problem number 3, again, get rid of parentheses. So 6x. Now notice we have a negative 2, so it's going to be negative 2x. And then a negative times a negative becomes a positive 10. Next step, combine like terms. So we have 4x plus 10 is equal to 46. I'm gonna move this equal sign over and keep these aligned so we can kind of see that. Next step, move the 10 over to the other side. Again, undo addition by subtraction. And now we have 4x. So the only thing left here, because those cancel out, we have 4x is equal to 36, divide by 4 both sides, and we get x is equal to 9. Okay. All right. Next here, notice we have to multiply the fraction by the parentheses. So we're going to have 3/4 times m minus. Okay, so let's look at 3/4 times 6. Now we know it's going to be a minus. So off to the side, I'm going to do 3/4 times 6 over 1. So on the top, we can have 18 divided by 4. Now again, I can reduce that. I can take a 2 out of top and bottom and get 9 over 2. Some people might say, hey, can't you take a 2 out right away and do a 3 and a 2 right there? Yes, you can, and then you still get 9 over 2. So let's go ahead and put that in. 9 over 2 is equal to 12. Okay. Now 9 over 2, what is that? That's the same thing as 4.5. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind. So now if I'm going to move 9 over 2 to the other side, let's go ahead and move that out of the way. Whoops. Move 9 over 2 to the other side. We have 3/4 m times 12 plus 4.5. So again, what's 12 plus 4.5? 16.5. Okay, so we're going to do that as 16.5. Now again, another thing to do is change 12 into 24 over 2. Okay, change it into a fraction. And now we have 9 plus 24 is 33 divided by 2. So let's do that way instead. 33 divided by 2. Now, to get m by itself, we want to multiply it by reciprocal, which is 4/3, both sides. Okay, I'm going to get a little more space here, so I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to move these problems out of the way here. Oops. Move that. A little more room there. Actually, let's put that back. Okay. And notice these cancel. Okay. So here, 2 goes into 4 2 times, and we're going to have on top 33 times 2, which is 66, divided by 3. And again, we can look and say, okay, well, 3 could have gone into 33. So how many times does 3 go into 33? 22 times. Okay. So our final answer is m is equal to 22. Now, that's a pretty long problem, so we can kind of look at that one a little closer. What I want you to do here is I want you to work on problem 5 and problem 6, right now. So go ahead, pause the video, and try those 2 problems. Okay, so looking at those last 2 problems, we'll go over that when we come as a group. So keep those aligned. What we want to do here is what happens when you have variables on both sides of the equation. Okay, so what we want to do here is this little practice. Look for things that are similar, like terms. 6x and 2x go together. Okay, we're looking for 4y and 12y go together. Numbers go together. Okay, so we're looking for things that are similar. Looking for the same thing down here. 12x squared. Where else do we have an x squared? Over here. Where else do we have an x? Right here, negative 9x. Notice 5y is by itself, and then the number by itself. So those are the different terms that we see there. What we're looking for here is, for the following equation, in order to solve the variable, we are going to have to get the like terms on either side of the equation. So what we have here is a problem like this. Let me extend the page here a little bit. And what we want to do is start with the variables. We have a 4a on one side and a 5a on the other. I always like to move whatever's negative. So if I see a negative 4a, I'm going to move it by adding 4a to both sides. Notice how I do it to both sides. Now, the 3 still comes down. The 4a is gone. And on this side, 5 plus 4 makes 9a, minus 15. Now that we have established the a on the right-hand side of the equation, let's move the number to the other side. So I'm going to do that by adding 15 to both sides, and we get 18 is equal to 9a. Last step, divided by 9, and 2 is equal to a. Okay, so that's how we're doing that. We're not combining terms on the same side now. We're moving it across the equal sign by doing the opposite operation. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 examples here, and I'll have you try the other 2. So again here, I'm going to move the smaller one or the negative one. So 2 is smaller than 6, so I'm going to move 2x over to the other side. I like to do that because it keeps this positive. Notice 6 minus 2 is positive 4x. So I don't have to worry about any negatives there anymore. What do I do next? Now the x is established on the right-hand side, move the 4 to the other side, and we have 1 is equal to 4x. Last step, divide both sides by 4. I'm going to write it off over here, and 1/4 is equal to x, because notice the 4's cancel out. Problem number 2. Again, where do we have the 6's? Now again, I'm going to show you, it doesn't really matter what side you go to. I'm going to show you what happens here. Let's say I move the 6m on this side over to this side. Just to show you, it still works this way. So what's negative 10 plus 6? Negative 4m. But we have a negative, but you can still work with it. So I'm going to do it like this to show you can do it either way. Next step, move the 17 to the other side. Okay, so minus 17 on both sides. So we're going to have 4. And we have negative 4m is equal to 4. Last step, divide by negative 4. Bring that negative with it. And let's write the answer over here. 4 negatives cancel, and m is equal to, look at, positive divided by negative is negative 1. Okay, so that's how we're looking at those problems. What I want you to do is try problems 3 and 4. I want you to try those 2 right there. And go ahead, pause the video and try those. And once we do that, we'll be able to move on to the next group and look at your work individually.